My name is Lisa, and for a long time, I believed life followed a simple script. You grow up, fall in love, build a home, and grow old together. That was the future I carried in my heart when I was young. I didn't want luxury or excitement. I wanted stability. I wanted love that stayed. I wanted a quiet life where someone chose me every day. Back then, I truly believed that love was easy, that if two people cared enough, nothing could go wrong. I met Mark when I was 22. He felt like the answer to everything I had hoped for. He was charming, confident, and warm, in a way that made you feel seen. We met casually at a friend's gathering, laughed about silly things, and talked long after everyone else had gone home. When he asked for my number, I felt a spark I hadn't felt before. The next day, he texted me, and just like that, my ordinary days began to feel brighter. Coffee dates turned into late-night calls, brought flowers, remembered small details about me, and told me I mattered. When we said I love you, I believed it with my whole heart. For over a year, we built a life out of simple things. We didn't have much money. I worked long shifts at a grocery store, and he worked at a repair shop. But I felt rich in the ways that mattered. I thought we were growing together, moving forward toward a shared future. I didn't know that everything I believed could disappear so quickly. It started with a feeling I couldn't explain. Sickness in the mornings, exhaustion that wouldn't go away. I tried to ignore it until a friend gently suggested what I was afraid to think. When I took the test and saw the result, my hands began to shake. My world shifted in seconds. I wasn't just a woman in love anymore. I was going to be a mother. That night I went to Mark and told him the truth. I expected shock, maybe fear, but I also expected reassurance. Instead, I got silence. He didn't look at me, didn't hold me. He stared out the window as if I had vanished. When he finally spoke, his words cut deeper than anger ever could. He said he wasn't ready. He said the timing was wrong. He asked for time. But time turned into distance, and distance turned into disappearance. He stopped calling. He stopped answering. When I showed up at his door, it stayed closed. The last message he sent was short and final, an apology without responsibility. In that moment, I understood something painful. Love spoken without commitment is fragile. I was pregnant and completely alone. I broke down in my childhood bedroom, surrounded by the walls that once felt safe. When I told my parents, my mother cried with me, and my father quietly promised that I would not face this alone. Their support became the ground I stood on when everything else collapsed. Pregnancy was not easy. I worked until my body begged me to stop. I went to appointments alone, listened to the heartbeat alone, and prepared for motherhood with fear and determination in equal measure. The day Emma was born, everything changed. When they placed her in my arms, I felt a strength rise in me that I had never known before. She was tiny, warm, and perfect, and she was mine. From that moment on, my life had a purpose stronger than fear. Motherhood was exhausting and overwhelming. Sleepless nights blended into endless days. I cried quietly so Emma wouldn't hear. I learned how to survive on very little sleep and even less money. Mark never came. He never asked about her. Once I saw him in town and he looked away as if we were strangers. I didn't chase him. I chose my child instead. When Emma was old enough, I returned to work. Every minute away from her felt heavy, but I had no choice. Life became a cycle of responsibility. Work, home, care, repeat. Some nights, after Emma finally slept, I sat alone and wondered if I was enough. And every time, I reminded myself that giving up was not an option. As Emma grew, so did my strength. Her first smile, her first steps, her laughter, they healed parts of me I didn't know were broken. We moved into a small apartment of our own. It wasn't perfect, but it was peaceful. It was ours. We made memories in small moments, reading books on the floor, dancing in the kitchen, laughing over spilled spoons and bedtime stories. One day, Emma asked me a question I knew would come. She asked about her father. My heart ached, but I told her the truth in a way a child could understand. I told her that some people make choices, and that his choice did not define her worth. She looked at me and said, "But I have you." In that moment, I realized that love doesn't need to be complete to be enough. When Emma started school, I cried again, not from sadness, but pride. I had raised her through fear, exhaustion, and uncertainty. We were still not wealthy. I still worked long hours. I'm still worried about money. But every morning she smiled at me and called me mom, and that made every sacrifice worth it. I didn't end up with the life I imagined when I was young, but I built something stronger than my dreams. I built resilience. I built love that stayed. I built a future with my own hands. If you are listening to this and feel abandoned, overwhelmed, or unseen, please remember this. You are stronger than your circumstances. Sometimes life doesn't give us what we planned for, but it gives us what we need to become who we are meant to be.